Hey everybody, this is Jose. This is a sound check. We are about to start the session in 30 seconds. Please confirm to me with a quick message on the chat box that you hear my voice. That way I know all is ready to start and we start on time. 20 seconds to go. Quick hello would do. Any message on the chat box ready. Thank you. Thank you so much for the confirmation, Gali. Very nice. We just reached the starting time for the session, so I'm just gonna maximize the introduction slide so we can have an official start for the session and begin with our trading. How are you, Gali? Leland, Charles? Hola, Charles. How are you? Very nice. Very good, everybody. Welcome to the session. Today is 14th of April, 2020. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide in today's session. Today we're getting together to identify a bunch of intraday trading opportunities. So today is a short-term session. And as I just said, the plan is to be active, right? To trade the lower time frames among futures and Forex markets. Before we start, we always have a disclaimer. So I'll read it for you. So we are then officially introduced. Disclaimer. The following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using a product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through a demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive by using our products. And that's the introduction. That was the disclaimer. Therefore, the session is now fully, officially introduced, and we are therefore ready to jump into our trading platforms, load the charts, and begin with the planning. How are you, Mark? Good to see you. Very good, everybody. Cool. Okay, so let's go for it. Let's begin. We have a few indications, actually, so we have some work to do here. Let me get organized here. Just one sec. Here we go. So what do we have? A few golden alerts here on the futures markets, gold futures as well as S&P futures. Okay, those two markets are giving us an alert. We also have an alert with the Euro futures, but that is a non-confirmed climate. I know that because of the gray color. Therefore, I'm just going to start by loading gold and the S&P and do the analysis for those two markets, which seem to be potential candidates for a trade. Okay, so let's load let's load the workspaces with all the charts, and that way we can plan from there. Okay, well, in the parallel, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to bring a trading view, not because we need trading view now, but I'm going to open bar chart, especially because of the gold contract, right? So that's metals. Every time you deal with commodities, There are many expiration dates. Sometimes it's difficult to remember the right contract. So a very handy place where to come is a bar chart. You can click on gold GC. This would open GCM20. The suggested symbol is the M. We want to confirm that the M symbol is the one with the greater liquidity and open interest and volume, which is the case. As you can see here, we got the M. Okay, so M is the letter to be used with gold. I wanted to run this in parallel while TradeStation was loading the workspaces, just to make sure I do have the M, and I do have the M when trading gold. You can see I do have the M, so I'm ready to go. Okay, so let's begin with gold then, since we're here. What do we have with gold? Well, let's begin with the climate. Okay, so we have a thick dot, 3 candles into a climate, which may be 5 candles statistically. So 4.22, we round up to 5. So 3 out of 5 certainly tells me that it's a right time for me to take a trade. And with this in mind, we have an EMA located at 69.3. Okay, 69.3. I believe being within that UFO. The bottom part of the UFO is 68.6. Okay, so certainly 69.3 somewhere in between. And the top is 71 something. 71 something. It's not overlapping with any of the UFOs. So my friends, this UFO qualifies as a valid entry. So very quick, I'm going to turn on the common time frame, 15-minute time frame. I'm going to turn on AutoUFOs looking for my target. So if I short gold, my target will be the green UFO located at 1750.3. Okay, so 1750.3, this is going to be my target for the short trade that we are about to execute on gold. Okay, so everybody work with me on this. Okay, of course, it's okay for you to use paper money. It's okay for you to use small size, but work with me on this practice. I think that this could help you, or at least listen carefully. Okay, because this will help you. So we're going to have the entry where the bottom UFO is here, which is 1768.6. Okay, so 1768.6, that's the bottom part. The top part is going to be 1771.2. Okay, so let me bring a calculator. I'm doing this quickly, I don't want to miss the trade. So we got 1768.6, that's going to be the entry. The stop is going to be located 1771.2. We'll make it 3. We add an additional tick. Okay, so that's going to be 2.7 points. Okay, 2.7 points. And that means that our safety target will be located at 1768.6 minus 2.7. That's going to be 1765.9. That's going to be our safety target. Okay, so I'm going to place an order here, trade with 2 contracts. Okay, I'm always using 2 contracts in the sessions to keep it simple. Of course, make sure you do your proper calculations. Okay, so we're going to have short with 2 limits and 1 stop. Okay, short, 2 limits and 1 stop. And the entry is going to be 1768.6. The stops, we said, is going to be 17, let me make no mistake, 1771.3. So 1771.3. Then we said the final target was going to be 1750.3. I'm going to zoom in later on so you can take a screenshot, everybody, okay? And then finally, we also said safety target was going to be 65.9, okay? 65.9, so 1765.9, that is for the safety target, okay? So let me bring this up and zoom in so you can get a screenshot of the values so you can emulate easily the parameters of the trade, okay? So I'll rephrase it. Entry, short 2 contracts, 1768.6. Stop is above 1771.3. Okay, for both of the contracts, because here we got 2, but here we got 1 and 1. Okay, so we got 2 stops. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so the 2 contracts we enter are protected. And then 2 different targets, 65.9 and 53. Those are the final targets. Okay, final target and safety target. Okay, that's what I meant to say. So we are around 2 points away from the entry. Okay, price seems to be willing to come up. Hopefully we'll meet that UFO. So I'm just gonna place the order and enter the trade here. 1, 2, 3, send order. Do you want to confirm? Yes or no? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Here we go. So the order is in the system. Okay. You can see the lines, and hopefully price will come just a bit closer to our entry, which is still a point something away from where we are. 1.6 points away from where we are. Okay. Okay. So I was doing this quite quickly. I am aware of that, but commodities can move quickly. I didn't want to miss the trade. So now that the parameters are in, hopefully you guys on your end, you are following me. You are understanding what I've done. You are able to replicate these with paper money, real money, small size, large size. All of these are going to be, of course, as always, your own decisions depending on the type of trader you are, the capital you have, where are you in your trading development, etc., etc. But talking about development, I know I went fast. So if there is any question, if I lost anyone and you want to ask anything, this is the time, because I am about to move into the S&P, because the S&P may have an opportunity for us as well. Okay. Your target on the 15 is 1745.8. Okay. So Rob, question: what calibration settings do you have for AutoUFOs on the 15-minute time frame? Okay. Because let me show you my calibration settings. If I show you my calibration settings, I got 61.8. Okay. Calibration settings, inputs, I got 0.618. Okay, that's my calibration. You don't need to use that calibration. You may use a different calibration. We have a sharpening video on calibrations and the do's and the don'ts and the whys about calibration. So probably you have seen it. Just in case, I want to make sure everybody knows the video exists so you can review. My number is 61.8. Your number may be different, and if that's the case, that's the reason why your UFO is in a different location. Okay. So as long as you always use the same calibration settings, you are fine, because your action is mechanical. That's fine. Of course, calibrations have some impacts, especially on trading styles and the amount of times you get stopped out, the amount of space from entry to stops. So there is a whole 2-hour video on calibration. So Rob, I will need to point at that video for you to watch it. I don't have time to address that subject as of now, since we have that video already recorded on the playlist, on the sharpening playlist. So look for calibration in the playlist. And I would like you to watch this carefully, okay? In any case, out of curiosity, if you change your calibration from 0.5, which is the standard, which I'm guessing is the one you're using, to 0.618, which is the one I'm using, 0.618, do you find the UFO located at the same place I do have my UFO, which is 1.750? Okay, that's my question to you. If you could answer that question, that would be great, because now I know we are in the very same page, and the only thing missing would be for you to find a spare couple of hours to be able to watch that video, which is not an urgent thing to be done, but certainly it will be eye-opener if you haven't yet. And this applies to everybody here. If you haven't seen that calibration video, you need to go take a look whenever that's possible, okay? Where is the path to calibration? You can just double click on the UFO, okay, on the edge of the UFO, and you select yes, and it will open the inputs. Okay, so inside inputs, you got calibration. Okay, cool. Okay, so we are waiting to get filled here. We got 4 more minutes until the new climate. Okay, so we're gonna have to watch this carefully in 4 minutes, because the value of the EMA may vary, and if it varies, it doesn't look like it's gonna vary a lot. But if it was to vary, we may still have the trade valid as long as the EMA is above 68, or we may not have it valid. Okay, a new UFO form, by the way, but that one is 6667, so that one is not aligned with the EMA, and therefore we will ignore that one. So next one, S&P. What do we have with the S&P? Well, actually, nothing to be done as of now, because we are above the EMA. Okay, current price is above the EMA, and the climate is down. Okay, so there is a little bit of a challenge to the climate here. Okay, maybe price will create a UFO, and then start moving down and continue traveling in the direction of the climate with new UFOs, okay, which is what we need. We need UFOs around 12. So not only we don't have UFOs around 12, on top of that, price is above the EMA. So as of now, nothing to be done with the S&P 500. So we'll come back in 3 minutes time to see what happened. It was 5. Thanks, Jose. Wonderful. Thank you, Robert. And very good observation. And I love what you did, because that means that you are not simply watching the YouTube like it's something going on TV. You are actually working with 2 computer screens, and you are working on replicating what I do on my end. You are working on doing the same on your end. And this is teamwork, and this is the effort I need everybody to put in place to be able to develop themselves. Okay, so good job there, Rob. That subtle finding means that you are very focused, and I love that. So anyway, 2 minutes from now, we're gonna have to come back and reconfirm everything. At the moment, no trade on gold, no trade on the S&P, and when it comes to climates, on the futures markets at least, nothing new. On the Forex, we got opportunities, which we'll check in just a little bit. But for now, not at the moment. We are just waiting, and no new indications of climates on the futures. So I'm just gonna wait. First, I'll point at gold, since it seems to be the trade that meets our rules, at least for now. And we got only 50 seconds to go, so I'll just wait, see the new climate, decide what to do next, and maybe we have to cancel the trade, maybe not. And after we decide that, we'll move into other trades. Okay, so basically we have 30 seconds of waiting time here. Mark, if price goes above the EMA, does that constitute a climate change? Not, it doesn't. It's a challenge to the climate, but you don't know until you have a close. Okay, you need to have a close, and therefore a change of color on the auto climate analysis technique. Okay, so if the app doesn't change color, it doesn't matter where price is. The fact that price is on the other side of the EMA is certainly a challenge, and is not a good news, but it doesn't mean you had a climate change. Okay, so here we go. So now we have a new update on the climates. Okay, so now we have 4 candles instead of 3. Okay, so 4 out of 5, still on time to take the trade, so that's fine. EMA 68.2. Okay, 68.2, currently 64. So if it moves up to 68.6, okay, even though the EMA is 68.2, that's going to bring the EMA a little higher. And I do believe we should have a confluence with that UFO and the EMA. In other words, the UFO, it's probably enveloping the EMA. That's fine. Also, another UFO form here, okay, but that UFO happens to be, let me see, 67.2. So that's below the EMA, as well as this one is also below the EMA with 67.2. Okay, so we ignore the UFOs that form. Okay, the 3 UFO that form, that one and that one and that one, are to be ignored. Okay, they are to be ignored. They are UFOs, and they may push price down, but they are not meeting our rule when it comes to having them lining up with the EMA. Okay, so still, our UFO is the one that we had before, so the trade with gold is still valid. We're going to give this trade another 15 minutes of time for price to come back to us, hopefully gives us a fill. Okay, so we'll see that in a little bit. What else is going on? Gold, we talked about it. We also have a change of climate on the euro. Okay, and I believe the climate has been now invalidated on the S&P, where you can see we got gray color. So I'm going to close the S&P. Okay, close the S&P. No trade on the S&P. And I'm going to open the Euro futures and see if we can execute a trade on the Euro futures. I may have to change the symbol to the ECM. Yes, I have the ECH right here. So we're going to have to change it to ECM. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for the chart to load, and then I will change the symbol. Here we go. So give me a second here. At ECM20. Here we go. So now everything is loading with the proper symbol, and then we'll begin planning the trade. Okay. How are you, Ray? Good to see you. Nice. All good. All under control. Let's continue. So what do we have? Beginning of a climate on the euro, candle number 1 out of what could be 6 candles. Okay, so we may be in a 1 hour and a half trade here. EMA pointing at 0981.82, something like that. My friends, we do have a UFO, and they are lining up with the EMA. So we have a trade. Let's go ahead and look at the target first. So be ready to execute a trade on the euro futures, my friends. So price is already in that red UFO. And when that's the case, we understand on-field orders are being filled already. So what we do in cases like that is go for the next UFO. Okay. So let me take a look at where the next UFO will be. So we're going to have to load data all the way to the beginning of March. Okay. So beginning of March, back to the 15-minute time frame. Instead of 500 candles, I'm going to load March 1st, 2020 and see if we got more UFOs on top of those UFOs. Okay, so we need to give it a little bit of time for it to load. Sandeep, can you share your other screen desktop files, please? Yeah, I have no problem with that. If you were to send an email to rich@tradewithufos.com, we could certainly do that. Okay, but keep in mind that the workspace files are dependent on TradeStation updates. Okay, so I'm using update 45 as of now. If your update is different, it will not work, and there is nothing I can do to change it. Okay, so you can also construct or build the red screen yourself. It's quite simple, to be honest. Okay, I'm just waiting here for this to load. Okay, but while this is happening, okay, so if you come here to Trading App Store updates, okay, and you were to click on Auto Climate and you click Launch, okay, this is gonna open another workspace where you have one of the red screens here, okay, with the Auto Climate built in. So you can just copy and paste this window as many times as you want and change the symbols to the markets you trade, and that's it. You've made it yourself. Is that making sense? So you can just do it this way, or again, if you want our files, I have no problem for my team to send it to you. Please send an email to us and keep in mind what I said about the versions, okay? Cool. So, okay, finally. So the Euro futures just loaded here. Oop, I went too fast there with the scaling. Okay, so we have one UFO where the price is right now, and the next UFO is located at 110.48.5. 110.48.5. That's the price of that red UFO, and therefore that is going to be my target. Okay, so going back to the normal settings, 500 bars, and also the style, I'll go back to dot on close just to go back to what you guys are used to, so no one is getting confused. It seems that we may have an opportunity with crude oil too, so let's finalize this trade on the euro, and then we'll go for this. Okay, good. So the red UFO is gone. Okay, so now we only have the green, and the green here has a starting point at 0981.5. This one is gone here. Okay, so 0981.5. Sorry, yes, 0981.5. That's the top, and the bottom is 77.5. Okay, so we're gonna place an order here. I'm gonna do it the same way I did before. Okay, because there are many ticks on the euro futures. Okay, and it's a little bit of a pain to have to drag. Okay, so 1.09. I said what? I said 81.5, I believe. Make no mistake. 81.5, correct. That's what I said, 81.5. So we got, this is the entry price. Okay, so 1.0981.5. Okay, that's a nice trade. We are shooting for around 60 ticks. Okay, that's a nice trade, and pretty nice actually. And then the stop would be 77.5. Okay, for stops, I'm always a little bit more generous with the euro futures, given the fact that we got a 5th decimal place, which, to be honest, doesn't make much sense. So I'm gonna ignore the 5 and make it 77, and then go for the one below, which is 76. So 109.76. okay, minus 10976. That would be the location for the stop. So that is a 5.5 ticks, okay, 5.5 ticks. So if I was to add this to the entry, which is 1.09815, that would make my safety target to be 87. So safety target is 87 and final target is 110.48. Okay, 110.48, which I got from the 15-minute time frame. So let's place the order. Two contracts, OCO, OSO. In this case, is not short, it's long. Okay, and we're gonna execute with two targets and one stop. So I will zoom in a minute, but again, I'm just gonna name the figures as I type it. 109.815 is the entry. The stop, we said is gonna be 76, so 109.76. Okay, let's do this correctly. 76, now I got it. And 109.76. Final target, we said it was going to be 110.48.5. And the safety target, I bring the calculator here, we said is going to be 87. Okay, 87, 109.87. So 109.87. Okay, we got it. Okay, so zooming in, price is approaching the entry, so we have to do this quickly, my friends. Two contracts at the entry, stops 76.76 to protect those two contracts, one contract and one contract for each bracket. 87 is safety target, okay, and 110.48.5 is final target. All of those are the parameters, okay, and again, price is only a few ticks away, so I'm gonna send the order 1, 2, 3. Yes, so the order is now in the system. Okay, and you can see how far away that target is. Okay, it's very far, but 60 pips is not that far. So this is certainly a trade which is doable. We may reach that particular level. Okay. Before I come back here to review, anything new on the gold? Yes, we're in the gold trade. Okay, we got filled on the we haven't got filled on the gold trade. We have not. We went very, very close. We went. The high is 0.5, the entry was 0.6. So we went one tick away from the entry, but we haven't got filled yet, okay? And notice how nice, how cool, the average, the EMA, is exactly the same price as our UFO. So it's all looking very, very good. We just need a little bit of another push to bring gold price to where the S is, S for sell, and we're gonna have two contracts short at this price point. Okay, so Mr. Gold, please go up. What about the euro? So with the euro futures, okay, we are looking at this is our entry UFO. So we are looking at price went back up. Price is currently trading at 86. Earlier it was down here at 82.9, so it was getting very close to 81.5. But right now price is around 85. So we're gonna have to be a bit patient here. We are just a few ticks away from the entry. So let's take a look at the radar screen because I saw flashing crude oil and other things. So let's see if that's the case. Crude oil is flashing, but it's hopeful. So forget about it. Gold, it's actually not hopeful yet, so it's fine. The trade is still valid, and natural gas is also hopeful, so we forget about it. Okay, so one last look before we move into Forex. We need a bit of patience here with the euro. Good news is that this is the very beginning part of the climate, so if we get filled, this could be a very powerful trade. We will see. When it comes to gold, price is moving away from the entry. Here the challenge is that in 3 minutes from now, okay, 3 minutes from now, it's going to be the top of the hour. And that means that we're going to have an update on the climate. And that means that we're going to have 5 candles out of 4. Okay, so then we're going to be surpassing what probabilities suggest. And then probability is less. And normally the recommendation would be to utilize half of the size of the trade. And even, if you are risk averse, just cancel the trade, altogether. So yeah, one tick away. Yes. Yes, Boyan. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So come back in a minute, okay? In the meantime, let's begin looking at which are the currencies that we're gonna trade. On the 60-minute time frame for majors, nothing is golden at the moment. On the 4-hour time frame, we have one golden sensible with the Kiwi, but the climate is not confirmed. So we'll ignore that one. And on the daily time frame, we have a one golden confirmed climate with the euro US dollar. Okay, the same euro that we are planning to attack using the 15-minute time frame with the euro futures, the same euro spot is also giving us an excuse to attack using the daily time frame. Okay, so we are certainly gonna go take a look at that euro, and so I'll prepare loading my charts here with the euro. Well, actually, I already got the charts loaded. Okay, so we're gonna begin planning this trade right now. But let's complete our futures trades first because we are a bit over 1 minute, 1 minute and 15 seconds away from a change of climate. So let's get to see the change of climate first, and from there we will decide. Okay. So again, it's looking like with a minute to go. I mean, we could certainly get filled. Okay, but with a minute to go, it's looking like we may not get filled. So if that's the case, you got two choices. Choice number one, if you're conservative, cancel the trade because instead of 4, you're about to see number 5, meaning the number 5 is more than 422, and then you're not at an advantage any longer. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cancel the trade if you are conservative. If you are less conservative, then it would be recommended to reduce the size of the trade to half of it. Okay, and again, all those things are generic recommendations. Ultimately, you should backtest your methodologies, and while you backtest, you understand who you are as a trader from a psychological point of view, and you understand better if this is a trade to be taken or not, given who you are as a trader, because we are all different. But so from a generic point of view, I'm kind of classifying all of us in two groups, which is conservative or risk averse or aggressive, right? Realistically, there are more than two groups. Okay, that's why I said do your homework as well. To practice, understand the methodology, and most importantly, understand yourself. Okay, so it's top of the hour. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the trade on. Let me see. No, I will cancel the trade. Let me cancel the trade and let me explain why. Okay, apart from the problem with the size, trade is canceled now. The average now is 0.3. In other words, the average now is below the UFO, so I don't have the UFO enveloping the EMA any longer. Okay, so this invalidates my trades, and it's one of those sad stories where you missed it by one tick. But you know what? It's part of trading, and to be honest, it's not a sad story. It's actually a good story that tells you, hey, what you were about to do there makes sense. Okay, the climate pushed it down. Getting close to where the unfillers are created less buying, and price went down. So it's actually nice to see. Okay, so it's not a sad story really, even though it's not enjoyable to cancel a trade, but it's part of trading. Okay, so euro contract is probably still a valid setup. Let me take a look. We got 83 is the EMA now. 83 is the EMA. 88 is the current price. So the question is, if this falls down, 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 and comes to 81, okay, would the EMA be 83, 82, or would the EMA be around 81? Okay, and I would say we should be okay. I would say we should be okay, but really what you should do here, okay, which I'm gonna do, is you should set yourself an alert, okay? Like when price comes, let's say here, okay, let's set an alert. Okay, so alert, enable, intra-bar, use custom settings. I want to see an audible sound, and also I would like to have like a visual pop-up. I want a pop-up, and I want the pop-up to never close, always open. Okay, so that's what I want. I want a visual alert, a sound alert, if the euro was to drop and hit my purple line, because now I'm going to be able to assess if that UFO envelopes or not the EMA. At the moment, it doesn't look like it, but when price comes down, it may be the case. I would say it's just an impression, I don't know, but I would say it looks like it may work, but I need to confirm. I cannot trade based on impressions, okay? So that's why I'm setting an alert. What else do we have in the futures markets? Nothing else. So then let's go back to the euro using the daily time frame, and let's begin the planning right there. So 1 second, please. Okay, so let's go for the euro. It's been yeah, Boyan, I'm reading your comments. It's been an intense initial 30 minutes. Okay, I've been talking non-stop. Okay, I'm moving from chart to chart. Okay, you guys are doing okay. Give me some feedback. Am I moving too fast? Is it a bit too much, or you guys are following? Let me know, guys, because certainly I need to be dynamic in a trading session. I cannot be too slow, but at the same time, I don't want to have anyone being lost. Okay, so if you're lost, let me know. It's fine. If you're lost, it's not your fault. It's my fault by going too fast. Okay, so let me know if that's the case. So euro in a daily time frame, what do we have? As the radar screen said, we have a confirmed climate to the upside, 3 out of 5. So certainly we can take a trade here and ride it for a couple more days. Okay, so it's certainly a valid opportunity from that theoretical point. If we were to do this, we need to find UFOs around our reference price of 119.17. So let's go ahead and turn AutoUFOs on the 55-minute time frame to see if around 17 we have a UFO. And we don't have a UFO around 17, we have a UFO around 12. Okay, we have a UFO around 12, and the current price is 70. In other words, if this drops from 70 all the way to 12, the question is how far down the EMA will be. Okay, and certainly I could see the EMA dropping by five pips. I could certainly see that happen because it's a pretty important drop from 70 to 60. From 70 to 12 is kind of like 60 pips down. Okay, so I could see that happen, and I would say that UFO is likely going to be a valid candidate. At the same time, I'm going to suggest the same thing to set an alert somewhere around here. Okay. Now I'm not done. I also want to look at the 55 range time frame, keeping in mind 12 and 01, because we may have a little bit of overlapping with the 55 range time frame. I don't think so, given the distance from current price and that UFO, but maybe yes. Okay. Well, look at that. I just said I don't think so. And almost. Okay, but no, actually I was right by saying I don't think so, but almost. We also have a UFO there at 109.12. Okay, the next one is located at 89, which 89 is way below 109.01, which 109.01 is the bottom part of that UFO. Okay, so 89 is way lower. There is no overlapping, so no need for grouped UFOs. So what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to do two things. Okay, and that's how far I can go today with the euro. Two things is, number one, place an alert somewhere here around 20 or something like that. Okay, so add alert at 20, alert once, 1, 2, 3, create. So I got an alert. So when the euro drops and reaches 20, I'm going to be able to evaluate if that UFO is now lining up with the EMA or not, because the EMA is currently pointing at 17, but if the euro drops by 60 pips to get to here, probably the EMA and that UFO will now be lining up. Okay, but I want to confirm. I don't want to trade based on impressions. Okay, I want to confirm that. So that's why I'm setting myself an alert. In the meantime, out of also giving you a further indication of the trade opportunity, I also want to look at the UFOs in the daily time frame to see where my target would be. Okay, and yeah, so we had a sharpening session on Sunday, right? So some of you, I'm sure, were in the sharpening session. So how do you feel? I feel, okay, please collaborate with me and type it on the chat box. How do you feel? I feel when I see the euro showing us the red UFOs located 700 pips higher than the current price. How do you feel I feel about that? Please go ahead and comment. Still here, all good, okay, speed is good, thank you so much, following. Nice for the feedback, guys, it means a lot. So, your comments. Mark, not going to happen. Exactly. Exactly. Looks too good to be true, right? It looks too good to be true. You're going to raise just a few pips to make 700 pips? I mean, come on. Could it happen? Yeah, it could. Anything could happen. Is it likely? No, because the further away your target is, the less likely you will reach it. Okay. So, now what should you do? You should set 117.24 as your target. You should do that. Okay. Because you don't want to make up a target. That's the target. And let's face it, there is nothing identified by the app to stop price from going higher. So if something was to happen, okay, so let's say something is reported in America concerning the coronavirus, and the perception is that it's very bad for the dollar. And next thing you know, the Fed notifies another round of quantitative easing, printing a lot of dollars. And next thing you know, the dollar index drops like it's a crazy world, because to be honest, it is a crazy world. So what's going to happen to the euro? Well, the euro may rally 700 pips. So don't stop yourself from setting the target at 117, because it's unlikely, but it could happen. Okay, and that's the mechanical information you have. That's the objective data you have in front of you. So set it that way. At the same time, okay, you know that what is more likely to happen is that if you haven't got there, okay, notice the stats. So we got 3 out of 5, right? So you are giving yourself whatever is left of today plus 2 more days. Okay, so let's say you still got 2.5 days to go. Okay, so if you have not got to that target in 2.5 days, so what we discussed on Sunday is that it could be a smart action to go ahead and replace that 117 target by any target that you see, not in the daily time frame any longer, but now in the 55-minute time frame instead of the daily time frame. Okay, so that would certainly be an action that would lead to reaching targets more often. Okay, of course you would cap profitability, but let's face it, 700 pips, it's looking exaggerated based on my prior comments. Okay, so and if you are having a difficult time to follow what I just said, we had a pretty detailed, I would say, conversation yesterday on the YouTube channel, and when we did the sharpening session. So go ahead and review it if you missed it. So looking at your comments, yes, all good, my friends, love it. Now back to here. What do we have? The euro still in the same condition. So let's take a look at the chart of the euro. What do we have? So price is approaching. The EMA hasn't changed much. Okay, it's still 83 something. This is making me a bit uncomfortable. Okay, so from 85 to 81, I don't think that's gonna work, my friends. Okay, so again, that's another impression. So I'm not gonna act on impressions. I'm just gonna wait until I reach that purple line and then decide what to do with the euro trade. Okay, but it's looking like the EMA will remain above the UFO. The UFO having an entry point at 81, the EMA may stop at 82 or something like that, which is above, and then we're gonna have to pass on the trade, even though it's just gonna be by a little bit. And when this happens, it's a shame, but it's part of trading. Our job is to be selective. Our job is to say no more often than yes, isn't it? Cool. Okay. So what else? 4-hour time frame, we got the Kiwi, it's non-confirmed. We said that before. Canadian dollar on the 60-minute time frame, we got near sensible and it's confirmed blue color. So let's go for the US dollar CAD. Okay, let's go for the US dollar CAD, USDCAD. USDCAD. So what do we have? Okay, so first let's take a look at what we have from a climate point of view. So yes, confirmed what Red Screen suggested. One confirmed candle, thick dot into a market which provides 6 60-minute candles duration. So that's potentially a 6-hour trade. If the CAD drops towards the EMA, you may catch a trade which is a 6-hour trade. So that would be very nice. Okay, very, very nice indeed. And that will produce a very nice result. But that, of course, is only if the rest of the rules are met, including or starting from our reference point being 138.97, which is the EMA. We need to find, using the 8-minute time frame or the 8 range time frame, we need to find UFOs around 97. So let's go ahead and turn on AutoUFOs, and let's see if around 97 we do, and beautiful. Okay, we have a UFO right there at 97 all the way to 83. Out of curiosity, and in case there are overlaps, I'm going to drive down to the 8 range time frame. Okay, wait a minute, I want to memorize those figures, 97 and 83. Okay, good. 97, 83, and now looking at the range time frame. So 97, 83. So this is in the middle, this is in the middle. So 89. Okay, so the bottom part, if I was to look at the 8-minute time frame, okay, if I was to look at the 8-minute time frame and I turn on AutoUFOs, okay, here in the middle, so this goes down all the way to 83. Okay, and okay, wait a minute, I didn't look at this properly. This is 84. Okay, so all those UFOs, all those UFOs are within that UFO. In the middle, I got the 8-minute time frame. On the left, I got the 8 range time frame. So those are micro UFOs within the UFO that we see in the middle. Okay, so we're just gonna rely on the UFO from the middle, and that's it. Okay, so I will disable AutoUFOs in the middle chart and just go back to my normal setup, focusing on the charts on the left. Okay, so let's look for targets then, because we do have a proper climate and we do have a valid entry. So let's look for targets. Okay, let's look for targets, and we're gonna turn on AutoUFOs on the 60-minute time frame. The target will be located at 139.51. Okay, so we're gonna go long, Canadian dollar, 139.51. That's the target. Okay, rounding to the 4 decimal place, 51. Okay, so we have the target. So back to the entry. The entry would be 138.97.6. So 138.97.6. We round up to the 4 decimal place, that's 98. And then because it's a buy order, we need to add 2 pips, so that would be 39.00. Okay, so this is a trade where if we are right, we're gonna make 51 pips. Okay, and if we are wrong, our stop would be then located at below 138.83. Okay, 138.83. But we need to add 5 pips of breathing space, so that's going to be 78. Okay, so in other words, we are risking 22 pips to make 51, which is a 2.3 to 1. That's fine. So then the question is, how much money you want to risk in this trade? And of course, all of us are a different story. Out of simplicity and out of using round figures, which make the math easier to do and to understand, I will pretend I want to risk $100 on the trade. So what I have done is type 100 here, and automatically I am being given what is the amount of currency I need to trade. Now, this is for the full risk I want to take. But remember, when trading, I'm not going to take the trade with one target only. Okay, so I will have my final target, okay, which is my final target is 139.51. Okay, I will have my long entry, which is 139.00, and I will have my stop loss, which is 138.78. Okay, but that's not all. There is something I'm missing there, and I know you know, which is here in between, I need to place a safety target. Okay, and the safety target will be 22 pips above 139. So that would be 139.22. So I need to go with half of the size to reach 22, and the other half of the size to reach 51. And then, of course, I'm going to have double the stops, okay, with half of the size each, which means full size for my stop, in case it drops to 78. Okay, so in other words, I need to place 2 bracket orders instead of 1, as you have seen me do many times. So I'm going to start with the 51. I'm going to change 100 and make it 50. I'm going to make it half. and then I'll do it again with half for 22. Okay, so instead of 50, I'm going to make this, instead of 100, I'm going to make this 50. This tells me to go with 31 microlots. So instead of using odd lots, I'll use round numbers. So 31 microlots. This will reach me a little less, $49.17 is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna place this trade. It seems, oh, okay, I cannot place the trade any longer because price is already there. Okay, actually price is below, okay, my price. So I'm gonna have to change that to market. Okay, so market 1, 2, 3, I'm in, and I'm gonna do it again with a 39.22 and 38.78. Still correct? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Same quantity. TradingView changed my 31 to 31,720. It's okay. With most platforms, if I had done this with MT4, for example, it would have been actually. Sorry for that. It would have not been 31,000. With MT4, it would have been 0.31. Okay, 0.31 means 31 micro lots. Okay, that's what this means. Okay, so anyway, we are in a trade. Okay, we just got filled. Okay, you can see price is now entering here the UFO. Price is also now here hitting the EMA. All the conditions are in place, so we are in the trade. It seems to be moving in my favor just a little bit. I'm just making over $1. Okay, just the beginning. What I want to see is I want to see the Canadian dollar move to my target profit, and then I'm going to be in a risk-free trade to keep moving from 22 all the way up to 51. Okay, so I'm in the trade. And by the way, 4 minutes ago, the climate change on the euro, I haven't had any alert, so I'm going to go back to the euro futures. Okay, hopefully you guys were able to follow this trade. I'm going to come back to the US dollar CAD in a second, but I do need to check what's going on with the euro futures. It's moving up again. It came very close to the line. It didn't hit the line, so we never got alerted. We are still, from a climate point of view, 3 out of 6. So climate is good, but now it's pointing at 84, which is even more than before. It's even more than before. The EMA keeps rising a little bit. So, my friends, unfortunately, it looks like this trade will not function. Okay, will not meet our rules. So I'm just gonna cancel the trade on the euro futures, and that's it. Okay, and that's it. Almost. Okay, almost. Now, having said that, what do we have here? So we have a UFO from 86 to 83, and 86 to 83 does envelop 84.4. So, my friends, we are back in business with the euro futures. Okay, still good climate, 3 out of 6, still good climate. So we're gonna go ahead and set this trade up. So the top of this UFO is 86.5. Okay, so 86.5 is the top of the UFO. So 109.86.5. The bottom part of the UFO is 83, 109.83, but I'm gonna give myself one tick, so it's gonna be 2. Okay. In other words, we're talking about 4.5 pips. I keep mixing Forex and futures terminology here. I guess it's okay. And our entry was 1.09865. Am I correct on that? I don't want to make a mistake. Yes. So therefore, our safety target would be 91. Okay. So entry will be 86.5. Safety target 91. Stop 82. And then the final target all the way at 110.48.5, which is all the way much higher. Okay. So let's go for it. Let's replace this order on the euro. Euro futures going long, 2 limits, 1 stop. So 109.86.5. This is the entry price. 109. I said 82, right? You want to make sure, yes, 82 is the stop. 109.82. Final target 110.48.5. We got this from before. And finally, the safety target we said is going to be 91, so 0991. So let me zoom in so you guys can see the values properly. Okay, so again, two contracts at the entry. You need to calculate your size. Okay, I'm using 2 by default, so 1 and 1 in the exits. So stops 82.82, entry 86.5. Okay, safety target 91, final target all the way 110.48.5. Okay, so the trade is similar to the one before. It's almost copy paste. The only thing that changed are the values concerning the entry UFO. So let's go for it. 1, 2, 3. It's an order. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the order is in. Okay, and we have it. Okay. Now notice that let me see here. Notice how the stop here is on top of this UFO. It's on the white space. If the stop was inside the green, then it cannot be. Okay, it cannot be. So it's not the case. The stop is below. Okay, the stop is below, so we're fine. If I was to zoom in very closely, we can see here the details of the entry. This is the entry, this is the stop, and equal distance our safety target, while the final target is all the way 110.48.5. Okay. Now, the one thing I didn't notice, or it happened while I was speaking, and that's why I didn't notice, is that an additional UFO exists. Okay, so if I ignore that UFO, I may miss the trade. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to use the inner circle, and I'm going to rise my entry price to 88. Okay, if I rise my entry price to 88, okay, that means that I will have more risk, and therefore my safety target has to be further away. So I'm going to adjust the whole thing. I'm going to rise my entry to 88. My stop still needs to be 82. Okay, which means that my safety target needs to be 1.5, 1, 2, 3, 92.5. Here we go. Did I do the math correctly? 6, 88, and 6. No, I didn't do the math correctly. That would be right there, 94. Now I did it. Okay, so this would be the safety target. Okay, so you can see the values on the screen. The new entry is 88 because that UFO formed, or I missed it earlier, but I think it did form after I started planning the trade. Okay, and they are obviously, as you can see clearly, they are located in the same place on the chart. So entry is 88, stop is 82, safety target is 94, and then we have the final target, as said already, all the way located at 1.1048. Okay, so let's see if we get filled on the euro this time. That would be nice. And in the meantime, let's take a look at the climates one more time. Gold is flashing, but is not confirmed. Nothing else is flashing here. Okay, what's going on with the Canadian dollar trade? Is it working? Yes or no? It's making $9 at the moment. Just a little tiny beginning of the move. Nothing spectacular, but I mean, it's nice to see it's started moving a little bit. But really, we need this currency to move by a bunch of pips in order to remove the risk of the trade. Okay, so Mr. Canadian dollar, please go ahead and move. We expect you to do so. Next one. Sorry for that. Next one. What else do we have? So Canadian dollar is still the one here. The Kiwi is still not confirmed, still here. The euro still here. We haven't hit the alert. What else do we have? On the 4-hour time frame, we got the pound yen. Okay, pound yen with a confirmed near sensible climate. Okay, so what about we go ahead and we take a look at the pound yen. Okay, so let's take a look at the GBP JPY. So we are looking at climates of the based on the 4-hour time frame this time. Okay, so everything is going to be, I'm choosing the wrong drawing tool here, sorry for that. Everything is going to be in the middle because this is where we have the 4-hour combined with the 21. So this is what we're looking for. So Mr. Pound Yen, what do you have for us? So climate wise, we got 3 confirmed climates here out of 5. So 3 out of 5 certainly makes sense. The EMA is 135.03. So turning on to UFOs, do we have anything around 03? No. We have UFOs down here at 41. What about the 21 range time frame? Do we have anything in the range time frame? 21 range time frame. 135.03. Do we have anything? Maybe yes. Not really. Not really, because when it comes down to 028, okay, when the price comes down from whatever it is above, okay, and price comes down to come to this to this UFO at 04, then the EMA is going to be lower than 028, and therefore the EMA is going to be below that UFO, is not going to be enveloped. Okay, so no trade on the pound yen. No trade on the pound yen. Okay, so just going back to my normal setting. So I'm just gonna go back to the US dollar CAD just to see what's going on out of curiosity. We're making $17 now. Hopefully it keeps pushing. We still have a long way to go. A little bump along the way. This UFO may bring the prices down, and you get to see that positive PNL becomes negative and then go back up. So we'll see what's going on. Again, in an up climate, sell on field orders tend to be removed. So that UFO may disappear very quickly, and we only experience a little bit of something like that, and then it just goes. Okay, so it could be the case. We'll see. Whatever it is, we're in. Risk is under control. That's it. Okay, and so before we conclude the session today, another quick look. Oh, we just got filled on the euro. Okay, good. So what do we have here? Would have been nice to get filled a bit earlier because we just hit the ending time of the session. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give you instructions for the management. Okay, I would have loved to go through the life of this trade all the time, all the way with you. Unfortunately, this will not be possible, so I'm gonna give you instructions. Okay, so nice reaction at the beginning. Okay, we're halfway towards the safety target. Let's see. So, Jose, there will be an important news tomorrow for the Canadian dollar. Well, again, we should have reached safety target before that, isn't it? This is a trade with the Canadian dollar. We plan on the 8-minute time frame. So I would expect, to be honest, to be out of the trade before that. Okay. And certainly if you have reached already the safety target, you are out of risk, and putting on the side, you could get a little bit of slippage if you were to be stopped out. Most traders would be okay with keeping the trade open. But again, if you are a conservative trader, which is fine, then you want to make sure to close the trade prior to that announcement. Okay, and that's it. So anyway, final instruction on what to do with the euro trade, which, by the way, is the same thing that you need to do with the Canadian dollar trade. Okay, basically what you have to do here is you should be now looking at the 2-minute time frame. Okay, we enter the trade on that candle. Okay, that was 28. The current candle is 30. So actually, we only have a few minutes to go. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Okay, so you know what? I'll wait. If when this candle closes on the 2-minute time frame, okay, if we reach 12:32, 20 seconds to go. If we reach 12:32 Eastern time, okay, then the time stop will trigger, and if we haven't reached the safety target, okay, we're gonna have to close the trade, which it looks like we're gonna have to close the trade in 4 seconds. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close it, and yeah, it's gonna be a very tiny, minor, very tiny profit, $25. Okay, so nothing magic, but we are out of the trade, because the reaction didn't happen as expected. Okay, at least quick enough, and that may be the sign of climate change, or orders being canceled, or sell orders being added in the opposite direction, which may lead to a climate change. So we are out with a time stop. Again, this is an optional rule, but as you know, I use it all the time in the sessions. Okay, so that's why this would be the instruction I would suggest. Okay. What else? Canadian dollar, moving in the right direction, so that's fine. But also here, keep in mind that time stops apply. So if I turn on trading show executions, okay, you can see the execution took place in this candle. Okay, this is the candle. Let me zoom in so you see this better. Okay, let me zoom in so you see this better. So this is the candle where everything took place. Okay, you guys see those little tiny arrows right there? Okay, that's where the execution took place. Okay, so the execution took place right there. So this is candle number 1, this is candle number 2. Okay, this is candle number 3. Okay, candle number 3 will close at 12:28. Interesting. This is not a normal time. And let me take a look at this. What are my settings? My understanding is that I'm using exchange settings, so this should be New York time. Symbol, yes, I am using exchange settings. So I'm not sure why it's saying this candle will close at 28, because this is real time. So, interesting. I'm not sure why I got 28 here. Okay, I'm not sure why it's saying 28. But anyway, the moment this candle closes, if I haven't reached my safety target, you should close the trade. Okay, assuming that you use time stops as a normal rule for yourself. Okay, which, remember, it's an optional rule, but I use it all the time. So that's where I'm leading you to. Even though you could choose to, instead of using 3 candles, use 5, use 8, or not to use time stops. Okay, so you will decide that, of course. Mark, you made $8 on the euro contract. So you know what? 8 is a Fibonacci number. So let's be happy. That's a very bad joke. But anyway, the true thing about what I just said is that you did the right thing. Okay, you have a methodology with a set of rules, and you follow the rules religiously. So congratulations. You need to look at those $8 and be proud of it, even though it's really just for a coffee. Okay, so it's not much, but anyway, it's still a good job. Okay, so so the Canadian dollar, it's indeed moving our direction, so it's nice. We really need a push to get there in one candle. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to happen. But so I'll let you manage the trade by yourself. You know the rules now. If the candle closes and we haven't reached the safety target, so time to close the trade and collect those $35 and done for the trade, and look for the next one. Okay. My pleasure, Frolian. Thank you so much for joining us, and same for all of you guys joining us live, or also if you're watching this recorded. Pleasure to be around, a pleasure to guide you, a pleasure to support you on this beautiful thing, this passion we all have, which is trading. By the way, we just had a new candle happen here, and therefore we're gonna close the trade. Okay, so click on the X, close position, yes. So we just collected like $37, something like that, and we are out of the trade. So if you were on the Canadian dollar trade, close it. Okay, both ended up with small profits, but this is trading, my friends. You should expect many trades with small profits. You should expect a few trades with stop outs, and you should expect few trades with very large profits. Okay, but the combination of very large profits from time to time, small profits consistently, and very tiny losses from time to time, the combination of those 3 things, grows an account. Okay, so this is the way to do it. Anyway, everybody, you guys take care. See you on Thursday. We'll be dealing with options then. See you then, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care. Ciao.